Welcome to today's public workshop. The focus of today's presentation will be McDowell County as part of a 3-county regional study that also includes Polk and Rutherford counties. Before we begin the presentation, please see the NCDOT's Notice of Non-Discrimination. Any person who believes they have been mistreated by an unlawful discriminatory practice under an NCDOT program has a right to file a complaint directly with the NCDOT. Please see the contact information to file a complaint. On the agenda today, we will be discussing these various topics: general CTP information, which includes the what, why, and how of creating a CTP, review of vision statement, review of goals and objectives, CTP preliminary recommendations. The multimodal recommendations will touch on the various transportation needs within the county. What is CTP? The acronym CTP stands for Comprehensive Transportation Plan. The CTP is a long-range study projecting 25 years to 30 years into the future, which in this case is 2045. CTPs are multimodal in nature. The plan will focus on these various elements: highway and roads, bicycle, pedestrian, public transit, rail. CTPs are data-driven studies that are derived from local plans, community, and statewide goals. CTPs are locally driven by stakeholders. With the help of the steering committee and local citizens like you, we can create a CTP with a holistic viewpoint. It is important to note that CTP recommendations are concepts, and any improvement will go through a rigorous environmental process before final alignments or designs can be determined. Why do we need a CTP? It's in North Carolina General Statute 136-66.2 that calls for the development of CTPs in North Carolina. It helps to determine alternatives that will address transportation needs, which could potentially turn into future projects. It's the first step in the process of building a project. It can help to foster consistency while creating common, long-range vision for facilities between NCDOT, MPOs, RPOs, and local governments. It's a document that helps to better integration land use with transportation planning. Earlier in the planning process, we were able to develop the community vision statement, goals, and objectives. From there, a system assessment of various data sets was completed to help analyze transportation deficiencies. All McDowell County population and employment data projections were approved by the McDowell County Board of Commissioners. Further research was completed via a survey crafted for each specific county. After all local transportation information and constraints were evaluated, the steering committee was able to produce a list of recommendations that would address various transportation deficiencies within the county. Currently, we are at the stage where the multimodal recommendations are now presented to the citizens of the county. You, local citizens, will have an opportunity to view and comment on the recommendations within these CTP maps. Doing this will help the finalization of our assessment of the local transportation deficiencies. Once the CTP recommendations maps are completed, our goal is to obtain mutual agreements from the local municipalities, certifying that we are reflecting the overall county's transportation needs. From here, we will gather all the remaining information needed to complete a full CTP report. Once the report is reviewed by the steering committee and is deemed completed, we will bring the finished product back to the municipalities and seek adoption. The final step will be for the NCDOT Board of Transportation to adopt the report. Once this completed, McDowell County will have new and up-to-date comprehensive transportation plan. The Isothermal Regional CTP Vision Statement was crafted by the locally based steering committee to reflect the current and future transportation vision of the isothermal region. The top 3 CTP goals are: provide a safe transportation system, Provide a transportation network that is accessible to all users. Provide transportation facilities that accommodate all modes of transportation and provide opportunities to live a healthy lifestyle. The top 3 CTP objectives are: promote states' highway safety plans' goal of reducing deaths and severe injuries by half by 2045. Ease navigation for residents and visitors through the strategic location and increased quantity of road and wayfinding signs. Provide adequate bicycle and pedestrian accommodations, especially within town or city limits, including sidewalks to connect schools to residential areas within 2 miles. Now we will present the draft recommendations for McDowell County. Projects encompass highways, greenways, bicycle, pedestrian, and train projects. Highway projects are diamonds of various colors, depending on the type of project, and non-highway projects can be identified by both shape and color. All recommendations that you are about to see are concepts only. Final alignments will not be decided until further in the project process, during which there will be multiple other opportunities for public involvement and feedback. To begin with, here is a guided tour of a corridor that is very important to the region, US 221. This 36-mile corridor is a crucial link to and from Marion, I-40, and NC 226. Starting from the Rutherford County line, it is recommended to widen 221 to 4 lanes as far as NC 226, with bike improvements at key crossings. The Thermal Belt Rail Trail northern extension extends into McDowell, parallel to 221. In Marion, the Peavine Rail Trail is recommended to extend southward to connect with the Thermal Belt Extension. A short section of Greenway on Baldwin Avenue will connect Rutherford Road to the Peavine Rail Trail. North of downtown Marion, a road diet of North Main Street will remove the center turn lane and add a side path to one side of the road and a bike lane and sidewalk to the other side. As we travel to the north of the county, it is recommended to add bike lanes to US 221 from Main Street to Linville Falls. From Toms Creek Road to DC Johnson Road, just north of the NC 226 split, it is recommended to install a median along US 221. On NC 226, it is recommended that the road be widened to add a center turn lane and or climbing lanes from US 221 to Mitchell County. It is also recommended to add a bike lane on the uphill portions of NC 226. After the 4-lane section ends near North Cove, it is recommended to modernize the portion of US 221 from the end of the 4-lane section in North Cove all the way to Old Linville Road. This will make the lanes more comfortable to drivers without adding any lanes. Next, here are highlights of other important projects in McDowell County. First, the proposed Asheville to Salisbury rail line. This recommendation is to restore passenger rail service that was last seen over 45 years ago. Stations in McDowell County would be in Old Fort and Marion. Cross-county greenways are an important part of this plan. The Catawba River Greenway would stretch from Buncombe County to Lake James and incorporate the Catawba River Park, the Joseph McDowell Greenway, and Lake James State Park. This trail is also part of the Fonta Flora State Trail and the Great Trails State Plan. The old US 70 Greenway connects Ridgecrest and Montreat in Buncombe County in Old Fort via existing trail over Point Lookout and recommended trail on Old US 70 on both sides of the mountain. The next focus is on selected projects within the town of Old Fort. The Old Fort Mill Creek Greenway is proposed to connect the west side of Old Fort to downtown and the Catawba River. The greenway alongside Commerce Street, Catawba Avenue, Railroad Street, and Lackeytown Road would connect to Old US 70 Greenway to downtown Old Fort in the Mill Creek Greenway. US 70 is recommended to have a side path from Old US 70 all the way to North Main Street in Marion. It is recommended to add a bike lane and sidewalk to Catawba Avenue from I-40 to US 70. It is also recommended to widen Batcave Road from I-40 to Old Fort Sugar Hill Road by adding a center turn lane and bike lanes. Sidewalks would be added from I-40 to the Catawba River. Moving to the city of Marion, one area needing traffic improvements is near the high school. The primary recommendation is to modernize US 70 from the high school to Main Street, including intersection improvements to help traffic flow, especially around the school rush times. The Sugar Hill Road and West Henderson Street corridor is a major corridor within Marion. To that end, there are two projects on this corridor with the aim of improving bicycle and pedestrian connectivity. The first is a road diet on West Henderson Street from the US 221 bypass to Main Street, which adds bike lane and sidewalk. This would add a center turn lane and reduce the road from 4 lanes to 3, improving multimodal safety and overall traffic flow. It is also recommended to add a side path from Cary Street to Railroad Street, then along Railroad Street to Main Street. In Southeast Marion, NC 226 is a key corridor connecting travelers from the east to Marion and McDowell Technical Community College. NC 226 has a few recommendations. First, to add bike lanes along the whole road from US 221 to Rutherford County, between Jacktown Road and McDowell Technical Community College. The recommendation is to add a side path to one side of NC 226 with the bike lane on the other side. This side path would connect to the proposed Peavine Rail Trail Southern Extension at Jacktown Road. In addition, the recommendation is to add a greenway to follow Young's Fork from NC 226 to the proposed Thermal Belt Rail Trail Extension, with a branch to the Universal Advanced Manufacturing Center. Lastly, to extend the bicycle network, it is recommended to add a bike lane along Fairview Road from NC 226 to Harmony Grove Road. Thank you all for watching this video. The video will be available online after the session, and there will be an online map for those unable to attend the in-person sessions, as well as links to the PDF version of the physical maps. Now's your chance to comment and discuss all of the recommendations. The recommendations shown in the video were only a subset, and there may be other recommendations on the maps you have questions or comments about. For more information on the CTP, please scan the QR code and go to the web address shown. We will now move to the question and answer session with the project team, whose contact details are available here. If you have any further questions after this live session, we will be accepting comments until Monday, April 12th, 2021.